Well, we had a little move there from BTC, and gave us a little bit of a fright. It was dipping down into a 382 and a horizontal zone, and just as we started sweating, it reversed, and it gave a little bit of a boost to a lot of these other altcoins as well. So today, I'm looking at a lot of AI stuff. It's been part of the news. We've got Nvidia results coming out tomorrow. Might have an impact on AI stuff. We've had this Microsoft situation with Sam Altman getting hired and fired and all sorts of things, and these AI coins have been pumping on this news. Is it too late? Was this a little pump and dump? There is a poll that I'd like you guys to look at as well in the chats there. So we've got a lot to go through. I'm also going to take a look at the Nvidia charts. I'm going to take a look at this Microsoft chart. Did they maybe save themselves from a big sell-off on the Microsoft stock by getting Altman back in there? So we got a lot to get through, guys. Let's get right into it. So just taking a quick look at BTC and just to try and unpack what's just happened here. I was prepping my daily levels, and we were talking to a live group in the Sniper Club, and the markets opened and BTC started falling over. And luckily we've got our panic station lines that we always put in place here. And for me, my daily level was this horizontal and 382 that I was watching so closely, and it dropped perfectly into it, and we got a beautiful reaction, and that just brought a lot of these altcoins down. And I'm going to show you shortly, they pinged certain fibs, 618s, 382s, a lot of horizontal levels, perfect timing with this BTC dump, and now they have bounced nicely, and we should have a little bit of energy. So what I'm watching right now is the low for today, 36,700. And my upside target currently, I do have bigger targets in mind, but just for today, I'd like to see what happens at this 38,000 region if we get that high. So we're going to watch what happens up here. If we do get this high, I want to see what type of reaction we get there at the 38,000 region. But so far things are looking decent. Let's take a look at bigger picture again. One more time. Here we are, the bigger picture view, 40K level. This is still on my radar, and we are holding this main 618 region quite nicely still. So no panics here yet. All systems go for BTC. And let's take a look at this dominance situation, which is, it's not performing exactly the way we wanted it to with these altcoins. We can see it's still in this rising trend on the weekly. So right now, eyes on this trend right now for dominance. When we do eventually lose this trend, we know we're going to get a mega altcoin move. But right now, we do have this rising weekly trend on dominance, and we need to understand that it might want to just push a little bit higher. But is that going to go higher with a BTC pump? That would be nice, I think for everybody here. So let's take a look at the US markets and get our heads around what's going on here. Sorry, that was my oil trade. I'm gonna cover you guys on the oil situation as well shortly. Okay, so US markets, nothing's really changed from last week. We were looking at this push into this resistance area, and perhaps now with this some decent Nvidia results coming out tomorrow, and this Microsoft situation getting sorted out, maybe it's going to give us a little bit more energy just to get it over the line and turn things super bullish. So this is still on the table, this little break and push higher that I'd still like to see, but we do need to bear in mind we do have this gap lower down. So if it does want to fall over, we are looking at this 4460 region down to 4420. So that is on the table, but we do want to see this. We want to see this pop now and push a little bit higher. Let's see who's here with us today in the chats. Let's see if the crew's around. Luba's here. Luba's out from her oil trade. Luba, yes, we're going to cover this oil trade because that's now hit resistance. I'm still long in oil, but I'm about to start laddering out, so I'm going to talk you guys through that. Glenn says, like the smashest people. What's happening, guys? Who wrecked in Korea is here. Good to have you here. Guys, let me know give me a list of your AI tokens that you guys are trading, because I'm going to give you Render, Ocean, Fetch, AGIX, Tao. I'm going to give you this new one. Well, not new, but it's called PAAL. I'm going to talk you through that one. So let me know what I'm missing here in the chat. Let me know what I need to look at from an AI perspective for you guys, and what I'm missing here. Okay, let's carry on with our let's carry on with our oil situation. So Luba, just for those of you that traded this US oil with me, we were long off the 786, and I'm now going to start laddering out of this oil position. I'm going to show you why. We are currently at a horizontal and a 200-day MA resistance area. So we are sitting now in a reaction zone. So it would make sense to start cutting some of these positions. You see, I've got a whole bunch of these oil longs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 100 each. So I'm going to start trimming these slowly. And if we do pop higher, I'm going to keep a few in the tank. But if we do pop a little bit higher, then I will have something left in the tank here for this 82 region. But a nice little oil move. And yeah, after a sell-off like that, you just want to identify where that RSI is turning, what it's dipping into, and what levels are corresponding with that RSI turning over. And quite often you get a nice little bounce when that RSI is oversold. Maria says SNX is going to pump. Somebody's asking about AKT. Is this an AI token? Let me know if that's an AI token. LAI, that's an interesting one. Okay, guys, let's get into this news. So this was the talk of the town. I mean, this is probably why these AI tokens have been pumping. A combination of Sam Altman getting rehired by Microsoft after getting fired from the original company last week. So proper like a soap opera pretty much brewing here. But these altcoins seem to like it, and Render started pumping. We had things like Ocean pumping, Fetch pumping. We saw these AI tokens all just push straight into big resistance areas and then reject. So now, what are we going to do? What is our plan? Well, if we think that this move is going to continue, we need to start looking for entries and see where we can get in. We can't just ape into these big green candles here without having some kind of strategy. So Render is the first one I want to talk to you guys about. And I mean, we've been talking about this for probably a week or two now, this Render token, and it's finally broken this 382 region that was causing a little bit of anguish here. So now we do have 382 support here on this weekly time frame at 3.2, and it's banged straight into this resistance here at around 3.8. So now we're going to dial in and just get a picture as to what's going on with Render and how can we make this work better for us if we want to get an entry. So what you need to do, guys, you dial into your 1 hour situation, and this is Scalper's paradise as usual. You play the trends, you play the levels, you play the fibs. And what I've done here, as you can see, we've got a nice little rising trend here for Render. We have been printing new highs, so that is a good start. And now we're looking for potential areas of interest. When does Render continue this move, and when does it turn bearish? Well, the easiest way to spot when it's losing its trend and it's going to turn bearish is when we start losing that trend, we start heading down. Then you know this particular move is potentially over. But right now it is in an upward trend. So if you are bullish on this move and you believe it's more than just a one-day pump and dump, then we could get some more action out of it. So then you want to identify horizontal regions that tie in nicely with fibs and with your trends. So if you're looking for entries on Render potentially to continue this move, you got to dial in and you got to look for these type of areas here. So what I'm looking at here right now is a pullback into potentially the 618. That's at 3.43 for Render, and currently it is holding this horizontal, and 382 at 3.55. So the bulls are looking at this saying, okay, well, this is a potential area of interest for us here in this region. Or you want to look at a move lower down and you can bang in a trend in that area over here, and we can look for some kind of move up, little break, and then a push higher for Render. So keep your eyes on Render. If you didn't get an entry, these are now areas of interest where you could potentially look to ladder into one. And then pretty simple, if we start losing that trend, we're done, and it's probably coming down. And then you can zoom out and you can look at that weekly area again and see where we could potentially end up. Bitfrost talking about Bonk. Yes, Bonk. I still owe you guys a meme coin session. So today it's all about AI, but I'm working on a meme coin thing for you guys. We're going to cover things like Bonk. I think if we do have a bull run here and these things are moving, Bonk is where you need to be with one of these meme coins. Okay, let's take a look at Ocean. This was another one, big mover in the last 24 hours. And again, another token pumped straight into a major resistance area. So hopefully none of you bought the top of that move. what you need to do when these things are moving is always just zoom out a little bit, get a picture as to what is actually going on here, and high impact rejection zones that we can maybe spot. And Ocean banged straight into that resistance area, so that would have been a TP for anyone who was long. And then you dial out again and you look for nice support zones. And what we're looking at here is around about 0.447. Seems like a nice support base at the moment for Ocean, and this is on the daily. And then the DGen crew, let's Simon talking about shitcoins here in the chats. What's happening? Then we the DGen crew, we can zoom in a little bit here and try and get a picture as to what just happened. And this is a nice example. We had this beautiful buying of Ocean from early this morning. It was pushing all the way up. Then BTC reversed. And when we had BTC dump onto that 382 that we saw, that I showed you just now, we had Ocean park itself on the 618 and horizontal and react beautifully with BTC at exactly the same time. So it was perfect timing the way it moved into that zone. And again, offering up some nice potential altcoin entries for those that are watching those moves onto those horizontals and fibs. What you can do here with Ocean now is bang in a little trend. And you can see we do have a mini trend break. Now, guys, remember, this is max DGen stuff. I mean, we're on 15-minute candles here. So just bear that in mind. But we have broken now this 15-minute trend. So the aggressive buy was on the 618 and horizontal at 0.475. That was your aggressive buy. Now we do have the break. Potentially look for a retest on that area. And then your support is going to be the 618 level again, 0.4746. If we lose that, we're looking at the 0.454 level. So the leverage traders will get a little bit hurt there if it does drop to that area. So just be careful and understand your levels. Brandon, what is Spectre, bro? Let us know what the Spectre token is here. And Loa wants to see CAS. We can look at some CAS. I am still sitting in that CAS trade on MEXC. Oh, and in honor of this AI pump and all these things, I've actually opened an AI bot trade on an AI token in BitGet. So this was my first bot trade ever. I threw some money into a AI bot that is now trading for me. So I'm going to tell you guys about that just now. But I'm trading an AI token as well in honor or in spirit of AI. Let's take a look at Fetch. Also a good mover, guys. Another AI token that likes to run when things start moving. And I was eyeing out this 0.6 region. We did bang a little bit. We did finish a little bit underneath that zone. And now pullback areas again. We watch. We zoom out. We look at this thing and we say, where's this thing going to pull back? And if it does want to fall over here, we're looking at the 0.5 region. So that is a hot zone to watch now for Fetch 0.5. This is on the daily. Let's dial in and see where we are right now. And again, Fetch, another perfect example of something that moved down with BTC and banged onto that 618 as BTC hit that 382. So a nice little reaction there. What I would suggest here is watch this trend now. And if we start losing this trend, then we start looking at lower regions, and we might be in some kind of downtrend now. So hopefully this news continues through to tomorrow. If Nvidia prints maybe some good results, that might have some kind of effect on things like render, for example, and maybe could give some more legs to this little AI move. Chris M's looking at BLZ. That's a good one, Chris. Yeah, we must take a look at BLZ. And guys, let me know, what is PYTH and why is the world so hyped about this PYTH that's going on here? It's launched to like fanfare. Here, Jackie says, anyone want to buy my PYTH? Guys, tell me what's going on here. Are you going to buy these PYTH candles right here? Or are you going to wait to let it settle? I think the smart play is to let things settle. Darren says, what's good? It's all good, Darren. We're trading some AI tokens here. Tell me about this PYTH. Tell me about this PYTH. Spalinjo says GRT has minus 15% more to go. Okay, well, let me know. Let me go if you want to send it up or you want to send it down. Let's move on to our next AI token that I've got for you guys. This one, PAAL. And old bags over here, Chaos. I know he was holding bags of this thing, this PAAL, and he's exited his position. So Chaos, let us know in the chats. You exited your position. Did you sell the top here, or do you think there's more to come? Let us know what you're thinking here. So right now, this is a tricky one. This is at the top. Okay, so this is, you can see this is a new project. We've got our horizontal here, 0.22. So you just need to be careful in this region now. This is the highest this guy has ever been. So we are watching this area currently. And again, major support areas to look at, 0.15 is a support region, and your resistance is the 0.2. Let's see if we can dial in a little bit and get something here for you guys and see what's going on with this. Simon says he switched out his PWAL for CAS. Of course you did that. Of course you did that. Guys, let me know, are there any CAS fans here? Are there any CAS fans here? Do we need to look at CAS? Okay, so let's see what we can get out of this 15 minutes. Well, let's not go max degen. Let's go mini degen here. Let's go 1 hour stuff here. Guys, let me know about the music. Is it too soft? Do I need to make it louder? I think I turned it too far down. Okay, could be something brewing here on the 1 hour for PWAL. And what you're looking for here is either a little squeeze higher and a little pop. You want to see something along these lines, and then this move higher, or you want to see a drift here, possibly get your buys in down here trend. So 0.187, that could be a nice little juicy area where you can pick something up there on PWAL. So eyes on this trend. Yeah, look out for this pop. There's potentially some shorts up here, so you can take advantage of that. Thomas is vibing the music. Okay, cool. So I think we just need to turn it up a little bit here. Johnny says the music is just right volume for his geriatric ears, bro. I hope you're not talking about me. I want to turn this up just a little bit. I need to hear it properly. Let's get a little bit louder. There we go. That feels a little bit better. Okay, cool. So guys, let's take a look now at I've got this tower BitTensor. I think this is run. Let me know. This was the one Run was after today. I'm pretty sure he was talking about this one. If you look at this thing on the weekly, it's quite a scary sight. You look at that thing, you realize you can't really be buying this surely when it pumps like this. So the best way to play these things is to try and be a little bit smart about it and buy on solid areas and buy areas where you think you get these reactions and things like that. So the first place for me was this 382, and when BTC was falling over, this guy dumped into the 382 perfectly. So what you can do is you can get these fibs on your charts and tie them in. When BTC starts dipping, look for these areas, look for where these corresponding fibs are, and these generally give you your buy zone. So right now you have support for 𝐶 BitTensor at 267. So this is an area of support that you can potentially look at grabbing something there, and then just remember, long way down here to about 207. So if we start losing that support region, it could be a bit of a slow bleed down there. So eyes on that. Your next hot zone is 210. So right now reacting nicely. Remember, it's the flavor of the month. Things are moving here, so just be a little bit careful. Doesn't mean it continues forever, permanently up. So if you want to get positions, look for key little areas and key supports to try and buy on. So you can feel a little bit better about yourself, you know, that you've bought it in the right place. Darth Cannabis says, does that feel less geriatric? Are there any geriatrics trading altcoins? Come talk to me. Are there any geriatrics here trading shitcoins with me? 𝐓𝐶𝐞, do you want to look at 𝐓𝐶𝐞 wants to look at DOGE? Yeah, we can look at that. Okay, let's look at this bot. Okay, so I've never done this before. I opened a bot on BitGet. For those of you that don't have a BitGet link, get one in the description if you want to let an AI bot trade an AI token for you. What I did here was I liked the fact that they said the ocean results on the last 30 days was 1,230% with this little bot trade. So I said use, and I clicked on use. And then I went manual creation because it looked like the entries were a little bit low there. So I manually entered in some prices that I wanted it to trade in. And I created my little window, and I put $500 into this grid trading. And let's leave it and see what happens. Let's leave it for a few weeks. and see if it doesn't rinse me. Maybe it's going to make me some money, so we'll keep our eyes on this. Right now, I mean, I did it this afternoon, and it's $13 up, so not a bad start. So we'll see how we go with Ocean. So yeah, I'll leave this running. It must either send me to zero or it must make us some money. So we'll keep our eyes on this one. Mark is the trading beast. Well, now I'm relying on AI bots here, Mark. So let's see if it can do the trick for me. We'll see how we go. Colin says geriatric degens. Okay, let's take a look at some of your tokens. Oh wait, I first want to talk to you about this Microsoft situation. So Microsoft maybe saved themselves with this news. I think there was going to be a lot of negativity, and over the weekend they saved the day with their AI situation, and now Microsoft is looking very spicy here. For those of you that like patterns and shapes, you can see there's a nice little cup and handle situation here that's starting to push up. So it has pierced this horizontal resistance. So stock traders out there, this is quite an interesting area now. We are breaking through this trend, and this could be a sign of things to come for Microsoft. This might be pretty much all-time high country here. So what we can do, if we want to really pull out the science here, is to start guesstimating potential areas that Microsoft could go to if this pump's going to continue and this S&P is going to turn full bull. What we can do is pull out the 1.618 fib and just get some kind of idea as to where we think it might go. So let's take a look here. And our first target for this cup and handle on the monthly is 432 for Microsoft as a potential move. So that is something to take note of. But a decent looking chart, and with this big AI drive, who knows, people might get a little bit more interested in Microsoft, and things could start pumping. Now I want to look at Nvidia as well, because we got Nvidia results or earnings coming out tomorrow, and the last time they posted earnings, it seemed to push things like render and things like that. I think it was in May was the last time they gave us some earnings. So right now it's interesting. Nvidia is sitting at resistance. So very interesting situation here. We're pushing into a heavy resistance area, all-time high for Nvidia. So if these results aren't good, they're going to send this thing down very quickly. And if the results are half decent, well, we know that a big portion of the market has been shorting Nvidia. This was one of the shorts that I was calling a couple of probably 2 months ago. We were calling the short on Nvidia. We had this head and shoulders playing out, and it started dipping into this horizontal, and now it's reversed. But we know there's going to be stop losses and all sorts of things in these areas here. So maybe decent results can create quite a big move for Nvidia. So those of you who are interested, look out. Earnings tomorrow, and it's most likely aftermarket earnings. So that could result in a mega pump come Wednesday if their earnings are decent. Yeah, Richard's adding it to his list. Yeah, so interesting stuff. And remember, if their earnings are disappointing, you want to look at these horizontals. You want to look at these thick horizontal areas where you could get your buys in. 407, 340, 350, and 260. So those are areas you need to watch. There's a question about RWeave. Interesting one. Have you guys heard of something called Shadow? SHDW. So it's RWeave, Filecoin, and Shadow. Let me know. I think it's on the Sol network. I heard about that today. So that is something we need to start looking at. I couldn't find a nice chart on it though. But apparently it's the Solana version of RWeave and Filecoin. So that is something to look at. Then we've got questions for 1 inch. I'm going to just take some notes here so I don't forget you guys. Okay, 1 inch. We're going to go Doge. We're going to go RWeave. Keep going. Raju says Solana dead. Bro, probably had a little dip. Let's go near. There's questions on what else have we got here? Cake. Yeah, we can do cake. Okay, let's get cracking, guys. Let me know what else you want me to look at for you. Let's start with RWeave. Let's see how we're going with RWeave here. Okay, so zoom down. RWeave, what has it done? Bang, straight into resistance. So if you were long RWeave and you're watching these levels and things like that, always identify your reaction zones, identify your areas where you're going to get nice bounces or nice rejections, and 𝐴𝐵𝐻 is now banged straight into this 9.4 rejection / resistance area. If it falls over, first thing you want to do, zoom out, take a look at where we can be if it does fall over. And the first area of interest here is around about 8. That's going to be your support zone. You want to be looking at if things fall over for 𝐴𝐵𝐻. Let's dial in a little bit for you. Okay, and we do have some kind of flag forming here. So what we want to do is try and identify potential areas. If this move is going to hold and it wants to turn bullish and push through that resistance, we want to look at potential areas where you could potentially get in or get involved in 𝐴𝐵𝐻 on a shorter time frame. So what you need to do, again, identify your fibs, identify your solid regions. So what we got here, pullbacks, 8.33, something to look at, and 7.75. So these are 1 hour pullback zones in case 𝐴𝐵𝐻 starts tipping over. Those are 1 hour areas that could be of interest to you. So you really want to look for some kind of bounce off these areas if you are going to get stuck into that one. So 618 sort of last chance there, but I definitely prefer that 382. CAS is on the move, hey? Okay, we'll take a look at CAS. Okay, next is 1 inch. Guys, tell me what's the next CAS? What's the next CAS? We need to know. Eric says he's late, but he's here. Eric, welcome. Tell us what the next CAS is, guys. I need some clues. I know Kyle was talking about one this morning called Cubic or something like that. So difficult to even buy those things. So let us know what your thoughts are on the next CAS. What's the next 7,000% profit token that is coming out here? Okay, 1 inch on the daily. Flagging. Still a beautiful support zone down here. This is really nice. This is really nice down here. Wow. Okay, so this 0.305 for 1 inch for me it's an amazing area. If you get 1 inch down here, that's where you want to be. That's where you want to be buying. Right now you can see there is 382 and horizontal support, so it's okay. It's not bad. But if you do get an opportunity to get some 1 inch down here somewhere, that could be nice for you. So watch out this 0.305 region. You got the 200-day MA, you got the 618, you got the 50-day MA, and you got a horizontal area. There's definitely going to be a reaction down there. Shambu says AGIX singularity. That's a good one. Okay. I'm just reading some more chats here. Starlink, STARLIMX. Johnny wants Simon to tell us what's the next CAS. Can he just tell us what the next CAS is? Okay, next token for you guys. Doge. Let's do some Doge. When is Elon going to pump this thing properly for us? Doge just can't get it right. It's playing in this mini range again. They sent it last week when they were talking about sending a coin to the moon. The market pumped it. I think Crypto made a comment. The market pumped based on him talking about Doge. And then they realized there was no weight to this and it started falling over. So mini range for Doge. Buy area is still 0.077. That's still your buy zone down here. This is horizontal trend 382. Nice little area. Resistance area, watch out. 0.083. That's a resistance region for Doge, but right now mid-range, nothing much to talk about on Doge on the daily. So yeah, I think give it time, either up or down. Its time will come. But yeah, things are quiet. ECMW says the music's too loud. Okay, I'm gonna try and turn it down for you shortly. Yes, so GRT is an AI coin. Whenever I ask somebody that, they say, some people say it is an AI coin. Some people say it's a platform that they could use these AI tokens on. So let us know. I mean, there's always a mixed debate about this GRT being an AI token or not. Okay, next one we've got is NEAR protocol. That one's been moving. Okay, this thing's been ripping. Anyone buying NEAR out there? Okay, let's look at some resistance here. I want to look at where we could get a rejection. Okay, 786 rejection. Okay, we want to look for some horizontal supports. We want to see where we can hold this thing up. If it starts dipping over, where can we potentially keep it up? I'm looking at 1.9, 1.98, 1.97, that sort of region. Looks interesting. Okay, so support 1.98 is what I like. Right now it is rejecting at the 786. Let's dial in for you. Okay, so same story. We want to just look at potential areas of interest. You can see it right now. It is fighting the 786 region. This white horizontal is the 786 that on that big pool. And let's look at some horizontals. Okay, so we've got two decent areas down here. Interesting pullback zones on the 1 hour time frame. So if we look on the 1 hour time frame, reaction areas 1 hour, 1.86 and 2 on the button. Look like areas of interest for me on NEAR. So short time frame stuff, that's potential areas of interest. If you didn't grab it earlier, just be careful up here. You can see there is some kind of flag situation going on here. You might want to just track this down if it starts dipping down, and then aggressive buy on the horizontals. And you can always see what happens at the trend. You can always see what type of reaction you get at those trends, because eventually they do break the trend and turn higher. So there's always two options. You can buy on that horizontal, and then you can buy on that trend break and that retest. Okay, so yeah, WorldCoin, WildCoin, PYR. I still owe you guys cake. Cake, the BNB, what is it? Pancake swap, that thing. Do we still use that? Are we still using that guy? Let's look at the daily. Okay, this weekly chart, I remember, looks ridiculous on Cake. You guys might have noticed that one. Let me know, wrong answers only, if you bought the top of Cake at any point. Did anyone pay $43 for Cake? Let me know. Let me know how it's going over there. Trying to make its way back though. So we are getting there. We are getting there. Let's take a look. It's potential SR flip on the cards here on the weekly. So things are coming alive again for Cake. Maybe it's not all over. So really what we want to see now is we want to see this old support, which turned into resistance for 2 weeks. Look at these candles. 1, 2, 3 candles, 3 weeks. We want to see it push up here and just hold this area now. So your first area you want to look to maybe hold is the current weekly candle. So let's see if we can get support here at 2.43, and then potentially could start moving quite nicely. These candles like to get bought up quite quickly. We saw with RUNE, we saw with a lot of the other tokens. Once they got into zones like this, where the weekly candle down the side had that type of look to it, they did move quite quickly. So yeah, not the worst. If I were you, I'd watch 2.43 as your support. If it loses that, yeah, then definitely more downside coming for this guy. But could be a nice mover. Cake is mainly DeFi staking. They buy it for staking. Okay. So I suppose as people come into the market, we could get some more action. I suppose a BNB coin, that's also a good indicator of market strength. I think if BNB starts pushing, we know Binance and things like that start doing well. Okay, let's take a look at MOVR. Okay, MOVR on the daily. Let's take a look. It has been a decent performer and slowly making its way down to our 200-day MA. This is a 200-day MA, 50-day MA coming up here. Okay, still a very nice zone down here, 200-day MA and 618. If you do get this lucky that it moves down here, that is a nice little buy zone here for MOVR, MOVR. 5 on the button. So something to watch for sure. It has lost the 382, so eyes on that now. So this 382 is now acting as a little bit of resistance. We do have a trend that you can pay attention to. So if you do get this move lower and it dips here, that's a buy zone. 4.95, that's a buy zone. And if at any point it front runs and starts breaking the trend, you know what to do there. You can buy that break and retest of that trend. And then we know the trend's changed, movement's happening, and things are pushing on. So, yeah, love this 5 level for MOVR. Edwin wants ape, guys. Yeah, we should do some gaming tokens. Simon says cake is dog shit. Look, it's not the best, but if it's a trade, it's a trade. It can run, it can run. Okay, let's look at this ape coin. These gaming tokens are insane. I believe Sidus is getting a lot of attention as well lately. Maybe we should take another look at Sidus. I did cover it in one of my shows. Okay, so ape is looking very interesting here. Let's just get a bigger picture view again. Jeez, it got absolutely decimated. This, wow, smashed. Okay, let's zoom in here. Okay, 50-day MA support. Let's see if we've got 200-day we don't have. Let's see what our 100-day is. 100-day MA support. Okay, the gray one is 100-day. Okay, nice little horizontal here. 100-day is great. Okay, so 100-day with horizontals for ape. 1.3, lovely. Look at that reaction. Wow. Yeah, this is brilliant. 100-day MA, 50-day just below, and the horizontal pulling in there for ape. And let's look at some resistance zones you need to watch out for. Okay, there we go. You've got a nice rejection area right now. So this is resistance right now for ape. So if you are long ape, just be a little bit cautious here. Spartan says ape looks fire. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely got some moves on. Let's see how it goes here. But this is a resistance area, so you just need to understand that you could get a rejection here, and if you get a hard rejection, it wants to come back potentially to that support down at 1.3. So just be careful here. Resistance. Okay, lots of resistance. When it breaks eventually, that'll be nice. Look out for that retest, and then you've got your next challenge is 1.64. So that's your next level for ape. So just one step at a time there. Let it get up. Let it get some support going for you. And if it's going to hold that region, then you're going to push on nicely. Then you're looking at this 1.62. And then the 200-day MA, 1.9. We know these altcoins love to visit that 200-day MA. So that is on the table. Okay, lots of requests for WorldCoin. Okay, guys, let's go, WorldCoin. Let's do it. Okay, similar story. We've seen a lot of these pushing into resistance everywhere. These are the dailies that you're looking at. So big zone for WLD. But what we do know is once it breaks that, it's going to be a nice move higher. Crypto nympho, bro. Big Daddy Dill. If we do push this thing higher, I think it's going to move quite quickly. So yeah, I would be cautious up here. You are at resistance now. Let's dial in a bit. And we must take a look at BLZ that Chris was talking about as well. Okay, let's wipe this chart. Okay, so we're looking for horizontals. We're looking for areas that tie in nicely. That would have been a nice pull to that original high there. Okay, so that's a nice little region. Okay, dig that area over there. 2.56, nice one. And then a little horizontal. Look at that. Okay, this is a nice juicy zone. Right now you've got support. So if you are looking for longs here, your exit areas would be under this support cluster. So if it starts losing this area, look out for that candle close, obviously. But if it starts losing this area and say it closes underneath this zone, that's probably an exit area you want to look for. The low leverage and spot guys, well, they have more time, they have more patience, and they could probably look at the 618 lower down as well. So that is another reaction zone. Look at this. It ties in very nicely here as well. Horizontals here, horizontals there. So that is another reaction zone. So right now, 2.3 is decent. And then 2.12, another possible area. But now remember, you are at the highs. Okay, so it's got work to do. It really needs to break these things and kick on. So look out for some up down here in that region, or a possible reaction down there, 2.12. So that could work nicely. Chart father, the chart father Dill. Alex, yeah, you ask about this POLYX a lot. Okay, let's look at this POLYX, bro. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this POLYX. We've charted this before. We had some kind of play here before. What did we do here? Okay, so we had a trend breakdown there. Okay, let's see how we go. We got a range. Okay, so we do know that much. Little range area. You can see the support. It's not ideal. It's a little bit messy. There's a lot of wicks here and things like that. Look at that. Look at that wick onto the 786 50-day MA. Look at that. Wow. That's nice. Okay, so support for you, Alex, 0.2. That's that region. And you've got your 50-day MA coming up here, 0.186. So those are your areas you need to look out for. And then target is upside of this range. But we do have these little lower highs here and things to watch. So just keep your eyes on this. I mean, this is essentially a descending triangle that could turn a little bit south for you. So what I would say is just watch the support closely. Don't get too aggressive with your buys, and if it does start moving higher, you can always catch it when it's going up. You can bang in some trends, grab those trend breaks, and move from there. But support horizontal and 50-day MA. Okay, Grok. I've got to look at this Grok, guys. I have to. I've been spoken to about this Grok token so many times. I've never looked at it. Let's see. Grok. Okay, MEXC. Who's trading this thing, guys? What is Grok? Is it a meme coin? What is going on here? 786, 618 resistance, 618 rejection there. Okay, let's dial in. Guys, talk to me. What is this Grok? What is this? Are we meme coining here? Okay, trend. Okay, supports. Nice. Okay, easy days. That's cool. Okay, pretty clear what's going on here. That's your support you watch. Okay, nice little reaction so far. Let's see. Maybe a little trend down. Look out for that. Watch the trend. Look for that. Supports 0.0077. Watch that area. You lose that, you're potentially just going to visit this trend and horizontal down here at 0.0066. So those are pretty much the two options I can see right now. IMX and RUNE. Yes, we had RUNE looking good earlier. Let's pull up some RUNE here. Okay, so RUNE, a little trend break for RUNE. And this is RUNE on the 1 hour. I was actually looking at this one earlier. Okay, so we've got a little trend break on RUNE. So BTC came, dropped things, and flushed RUNE down into that 618, and then was bought up pretty quickly. So we do have a trend break. So yeah, I'm watching that. My support for the day, 5.2428. That's an area I'm watching for RUNE as a support zone. So I am long RUNE. So we'll take a look like this. You can look at summing along these lines. Okay, support under this region, 0.524. That sort of area is your deepest stop possible. Otherwise, we've got the trend break. You can dial in on 15 minutes and look for other size stops. But the safest stop, and again, lower leverage stuff, is under today's dump, which was the low, 5.234, 5.24. And then you do have that previous wick at 5. So keep your eyes on that one. You can always dial in as well, look for other support zones. Okay, if you dial in on the 15 minutes, you can see a tiny little break. So not looking that good, but tiny little break, little retest. And 5.42 is the low on these 15-minute candles. So, but that's full degen. That's full degen vibes, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's look at DYDX. And we must do SNX because I believe that one's been ripping as well. Okay, what are they giving us here? DYDX. Okay, still trying to just hang on to this horizontal. Okay, so yeah, this is still a big zone for DYDX. What we got here? Old resistance. So 3.22, big area. Trying to reclaim it. What I can suggest is if you are sitting in DYDX, these are 12-hour candles, so you want to look at where these wicks are dropping. 3.08, 3.055. So those are 12-hour candles, and that could be your support zone. Otherwise, it starts falling over here. You are looking at potentially visiting the 618 at 2.5. Remember, there's a token unlock coming on DYDX as well. So that is something to just to be aware of. There is a token unlock imminently. I think it's, yeah, let's... Richard says, Yearn got hacked, DYDX got smashed. Okay, well, that's not going to help the case either. But remember, often some of the best buys you get is after a hack. So that could be an opportunity, perhaps. Richard, let us know when this happened. Let us know the date, if this is old news. �xLVision, it says the screen is not clear. We're streaming on I think it's full 1080. Just check your settings, perhaps on YouTube. Sometimes it automatically streams you at a lower quality screen. Render, Vishal, we did cover render. Let's just look at render one more time for you here. Render is holding so far, holding the 382. This is the 1 hour time frame I'm watching. So remember, we've dialed in here for the full degen vibes. We had a render pump in the last say 24 hours. Render's been looking good, and now we're looking to see if it's going to continue. It needs to hold certain areas, and we are watching this rising trend right now. So we want it, ideally the bulls want to just see this trend hold and continue. When we start losing this trend, then you know it's over, and we're looking at lower levels. So you can ride this trend, play this trend until it breaks, obviously. Okay, yeah. So Richard says the DYDX hack happened yesterday. Okay, so that would have done things a bit. Dave Digital says the screen isn't clear for him. Guys, we'll need to figure this one out. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what the issue is. We'll speak to the tech guys here. Dave, let us know, is it always not clear, or is it just not clear today? PMG's random guy says Ocean is the play for a week. I dig Ocean. I think it's a solid move. Here's Ocean. So yeah, watching this one, you can see what happened here. BTC dumped onto the 382, Ocean dumped onto the 618. Now it's pumped nicely. So eyes on that one. Your support on Ocean 0.474. So keep your eyes on that. And there's been multiple requests for FTM. So let's look at some Phantom. So Phantom is there's two versions of Phantom here, and Solana as well. They actually look the same. I'm going to show you both of them. They both had this head and shoulders bearish sort of scenario set up. So it is something to be aware of. We did this. I mean, I can't avoid looking at this head and shoulders. So how do we invalidate this? Well, it needs to break above that high and then start pushing on. So right now, until FTM starts breaking this 0.35 region, it's still a little bit of a bearish setup. So this is on the 4 hour. So it does need to push higher. So give it a little bit of time. And I mean, right now it is in a rising trend. So once it loses that trend, then perhaps things could start looking bearish. But so far, so good for the bulls. For the bulls, you are on your way up. So you are good. If it loses this rising trend, the bears are going to say, well, the head and shoulders is then playing out. So what you need to look out for, if it loses this trend and starts dipping down, then maybe this little head and shoulders is going to start playing out for you on Phantom. But again, what you do, you just watch this trend, let it cruise up there, and ride that trend until it breaks. And I want to show you Sol. It had a very similar setup to it. We just got to get, let me make sure I get the right one out for you here. Okay, so here's Sol, and you can see they're pretty much identical the way they're setting up here. Sol's obviously just had a much more aggressive run over the last while, but here's the picture. How do you invalidate this? Well, it needs to pump. That right shoulder needs to get broken, and this thing needs to move. Otherwise, we are tracking down to the 786 here for another visit at 55 for Sol. And then lower down, we have the 50.8. And just interesting to note, on Friday, we were watching this level here with Sol dipping down, and I was eyeing out the 618. But look how the 786 on its own pretty much held up Solana on that dump when we were feeling so bearish on Friday. It actually held it up really nicely, but it has given us now this head and shoulder vibe. So eyes on that. To invalidate it, you need to start breaking this high, this shoulder on the right here at 62. You want to see that becomes support, and then you're out of the woods there on that bearish setup. But until then, we are looking a little bit tired on Solana for now. Brad says it's clear for him on a 75-inch TV. How do you tell people you have a 75-inch TV? Well, you just tell them. You tell them your screen is clear. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at gas. What is this gas? What is this gas? Okay, we've got a lot of requests for this gas here. Oh, no, there's nothing going on here. Nothing going on here. This was, everyone was talking about gas. When was this? A couple of weeks ago. Wow. Okay. I was looking at a setup for you guys up here. Wow, this really has fallen over. Okay, so what I can tell you is there's a nice little cluster of horizontal support, but this thing's not moving. I mean, was this thing a rug? Let us know. Is this still a project? What is going on here? Okay, so some horizontal stuff to watch on gas. Not looking ideal though. It's not looking the best. I mean, could be squeezing down. If it does squeeze down, you're watching this 50-day MA here. That's what you're going to pick up. 50-day MA is what you're looking at. So if it does lose this area, I think safe to say that is where you're going to be. That is where you're going to be heading. Marcus says PYTH is crashing. Look, this was a token unlock, wasn't it? Or it was an airdrop. So somebody's going to be selling that. And where they're going to sell it, though? Won't they be selling it into Sol or something along those lines? What size candles are you watching there, Marcus? What I'm looking at here, just it seems okay. It's not so bad. Just give it time. These airdrops and these things like that, they always take a while. Just give it some time. Let it do its thing. Don't jump. Don't rush into it. Let it consolidate. We get some information. We see what the charts are doing. Then we can plan how we get into that one. Okay, let's look at Evelyn wants SHIB. Let's look at SHIB. Guys, I'm going to dedicate a full session to these meme coins. We're going to go deep into the meme coins. We're going to look at some interesting memes. I'm going to try and get that going for you in the next week or so. Okay, SHIB 12-hour. What do we got? Got some horizontals here. 0.84, still reacting nicely. And we've got a little downtrend, so you can track the downtrend again. So that's quite nice. If this trend starts looking like it's going to break, you can jump into it. Let's zoom into the 4-hour. Okay, so yeah, something along these lines. Watch this current support here. You can see we do have a cluster of support, so that is an interesting area. So maybe a little move down into that little flush out there. You do have your 200-day MA at 797, so that is a target to watch. Support currently 840, so look at that. And then the safest way is probably just to play that. So let it break, let it retest that horizontal and trend, and then you're cooking. And if it's going to fall over, you're looking at the 200-day as your first sort of target here. Call it 0, call it lots of zeros, and 8. Okay, let me take two more. Okay, what's going on here? DNX, INJ. Let's do INJ. Shroom, SDM, INJ. Okay, let's see where we are with INJ. Okay, INJ 4-hour. I'm going to give you a bigger picture view just now as well. Let's just get our heads around what's going on here. Okay, you can see this horizontal playing out nicely there. Okay, so we're basically in cruising in two little mini ranges here for injective. So this is interesting to look at. This is 4-hour. Okay, so we do have an SR flip here. So watch this horizontal. Okay, your horizontal right now, 16.35. That's current support. Okay, ideally, we just want to see this hold and push to this range high at 17.9. If we lose that area, it makes sense to me that we're going to come down. This, call it 15. 15 area is something to be looking at. So eyes on that now for INJ. Okay, but yeah, nice and clear. Nice clear little range there for us. Quite easy to see. I don't hate cats, bro. Let's look at cats. Let's look at cats. Okay, here we are. Okay, so CAS. Yeah, CAS has been pumping, as you know. I mean, we had all-time highs for CAS. We are kind of losing this area at the moment. So it is something to take note of. If CAS starts dipping a little bit lower, we want to identify areas where we could potentially get buys in and things like that. So let's just zoom out a little bit here. Zoom in. Okay, so horizontal, you can see it's trying to hold this horizontal right here. Okay. These are 1-hour candles. So take that with a pinch of salt, but 1-hour candles holding CAS up here, 0.135. You can see there's a clearly defined area here that it's trying to hang on to, even though it's lost this trend, but they are buying it. So this is interesting. They're buying. If we start losing this, the most obvious place for me is this 121 region for the next push. So if we do lose that, you're looking at a potential move over there. But right now they are trying to hold CAS up, and CAS has behaved pretty well of late, so maybe it will continue to do so for us. Okay, guys, that was fun as usual. I love going through these altcoins. It seems to me that AI is the flavor of the day. Probably for the next couple of days. I just want to check these AI tokens one more time here. So they're just kind of hanging on there for now, but they have been good movers. Things are good out there, but just remember, be careful. Again, the degen traders, the leverage traders, be careful. We did have a nice little move with BTC earlier. We need that to follow through now to keep us happy. So right now, I'm looking at this BTC chart. Right now, we had that good reaction, and yeah, so far so good. We are holding some areas, so eyes on dominance. And again, with these altcoins, you don't need to be too aggressive until we start moving. Remember, we have been in a fairly downtrend for the last bit, and it's still time to exercise caution. So once we get moving, you can go small positions, you can wait for these bigger moves, you can go low leverage stuff. And remember, you don't have to ape in every time on max leverage and maximum size. You can ladder into positions, you can start positions small, and you can always add to them later. And that's the fun thing about a bull market and a trending market, is you get these opportunities to add to your positions, and before you know it, they've doubled, tripled, quadrupled in size, and just while it's moving up on a trend. So just be patient with these things. You don't have to ape in all the time immediately with your full size. So play it safe out there. And yeah, guys, I've updated the charts in the Sniper Club. Those that aren't in the Sniper Club, there's a link. There should be a link in the description to get into the Sniper Club. We update the charts daily. We do private sessions in there with you guys. We answer your questions. You can engage with us in there. And that's where it's all happening. And then the Banter VIP guys, we're still looking after you. I'm going to be dropping some more charts in that Banter VIP section shortly. So I'll drop a couple of these in there for you that you can take a look at. Guys, that was a pleasure again hanging out with you. We'll see you tomorrow, same time.